Hey, what's up? Silvester here, and this is the Ultra review on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. So one would think that the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is an incremental upgrade from the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. And to a certain point, I did think that that was the case. But with two major advancements, the new 200 megapixel sensor and the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy, I can say to myself that this is definitely not a small upgrade. Now coming to the exterior of the device, pretty much everything is the same, from the build to the button placements to the S Pen location and the speaker grill, when kept in front of the Galaxy S22 Ultra, with the two only key differences being the slightly larger camera rings and the less curved side bezels on the S23 Ultra, which gives you a much comfortable feel while holding the device. And yeah, you also get the boxy design, which is taken directly from the Note series itself. After all, this is basically a Note device, which also includes the S Pen built right into the phone itself. Now, there is a reason as to why the S23 Ultra has been tagged as the Ultra device. With a top-of-the-line processor and pro-grade cameras, this is the Ultra device. Right from shooting 8K videos at 30 FPS to playing graphic-intensive games to multitasking throughout the day. The S23 Ultra has a mighty new 200 megapixel camera sensor and has 2 times more the image optical stabilization range, which further improves the stability of an image or video. And do not worry if you hear a rattling sound from your camera system like this, as that is totally normal. And we also have new sensors for the ultra wide, 3 times and 10 times camera lenses. Now at first I thought that the 200 megapixel sensor was just a marketing gimmick. But this sensor is no joke. It's able to capture more details in every shot than the 108 megapixel sensor. Now this goes without saying that the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra doesn't actually take full 200 megapixels of image, but does something called image binning, which takes in information from adjacent pixels and combines it to form the final image that you are looking at on your device. You can also zoom in much more than a usual 12 megapixel shot. Just for comparison, towards the left is the Galaxy S23 Ultra and towards the right is the Galaxy S22 Ultra. And as you can see, as we zoom in, the image gives us a much clearer picture. The S23 Ultra on the left keeps up to the 200 megapixels expectations. Hey, and you can also shoot 50 megapixels of photos with the Galaxy S23 Ultra. You know, if 200 megapixels is just too much to handle. The S23 Ultra can now shoot 8K at 30 FPS instead of 8K 24 FPS from last year's Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra. And then we obviously have the periscope camera lens that is exclusive only for the Ultra series. Now, we know that the camera sensors on the S23 series are made for the night, like when the lighting is low, and makes use of something called an adaptive pixel sensor, which basically combines 16 pixels into one larger pixel to capture more light and provide a much brighter image. Now, moving on to the front camera, we have seen a drop in resolution from a 40 megapixel sensor on the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra to just a 12 megapixel sensor on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. And on paper, this seems to be a huge drop in resolution, but Samsung, through software, have managed to pull it off with just a 12 megapixel sensor, and the final results are actually pretty awesome. And if you keep the two shots from the S22 Ultra and the S23 Ultra side by side, no one will ever even know the difference. As a matter of fact, I personally feel that the S23 Ultra clicks much better selfies than the S22 Ultra at 40 megapixels. Okay, so I'm sure by now we all are aware that the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is packed with the latest processor, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy, which is basically a custom chip with a slightly higher clock speed on the primary core from 3.2 GHz to 3.36 GHz and a slightly higher clock speed on the GPU from 680 MHz to 719 MHz. Now, the increments are small and may not make much of a difference, but with the new processor on board, we will definitely see some performance improvements, and this time we also are seeing some massive gains in battery life as well. More about that next. The S23 Ultra is backed by the same 5000 mAh battery that we saw on the last year's Galaxy S22 Ultra, but with the only difference being a much more efficient chip. And when I mean an efficient chip, I mean a chip that is proving to show some huge battery life gains. Okay, so I've literally gone from full charge in the morning to 11% late into the night. with a mix of moderate to heavy usage, like making calls and taking calls, using WhatsApp and Snapchat, and playing with the camera here and there. And to make things even more interesting, my display resolution set to the max at 1440p at 120Hz of refresh rate, with the brightness set to auto, and Wi-Fi and 5G on throughout the day. After all, you are paying 1,24,999 rupees for the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra here in India. And I think it's only fair that you are able to use all of the flagship level features on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra without having to compromise on the battery life. This year round, Samsung has gone ahead and also increased the size of the cooling solution for the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra and has included the vapor chamber on the entire S23 lineup, making these devices run much more cooler than the last year's S22 lineup, which simply converts to smoother running games with less thermal throttling on the processor. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy can handle any task thrown at it, with a score of 1899 on the single core and 4802 on multi-core on Geekbench. High graphic intensive games run smoothly even when the graphics are set to the highest. Multitasking, as always, is a piece of cake, and you can run 2 apps simultaneously without any issues on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. The switching of camera lenses from 0.6x to 10x also feels so much smoother on the S23 Ultra, indicating that Samsung was aware of the lag issues that they had on the S22 Ultra's cameras while switching lenses. I remember when I had the Samsung Galaxy S22 Ultra, I always had some kind of issue while launching the camera or Snapchat app. I mean, the lag was just too much. But Samsung seems to have fixed this issue on the S22 Ultra and now also on the S23 Ultra. Okay, so the S23 Ultra definitely comes with an S Pen, and Samsung hasn't really focused much this year around on improving the S Pen. And this makes a lot of sense, as the S Pen could already do so much more, like controlling your device, marking up your calendar, and writing with the S Pen. Having the S Pen is just an added advantage to the whole package that Samsung is currently offering on their premium flagship device. Okay, so to sum it up, Samsung has really upped their game when it comes to the device's software, the processor, the design, the battery life, and the cameras on the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra. Now, I am not saying that the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra is a perfect device, and to be honest, there's nothing such as a perfect device. But I do think that there are a lot of consumers out there who will be surprised and are actually surprised by how well Samsung has nailed it with their most premium flagship, the Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra.